on? Good evening. Good evening. We're on Talk That Truth podcast, Talk the Truth Radio. We're going to go into a nice little discussion tonight as far as soulmates and soul ties. Do they exist? Going to introduce everybody. I got my brother Showtime on here.
What's good?
Oh, sorry about that. Hold on, I accidentally hit the wrong button. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying what's up. I hope everybody doing great,
I got
man.
cool. Got Sister Kendra. How you doing?
Hi. Well, thank you.
I guess what's up. I got Tanae. How you doing tonight?
Shalom, hi everybody. Good.
Peace be with you, sis. And Sister Kana, how you doing?
Hello, everybody. Good to be here. Thanks for inviting me, Rick.
Oh, for sure. You're welcome. And glad y'all here. Like I said, appreciate y'all coming in tonight. Like I said, it's gonna be we have an interesting little discussion. Like I said, we got a lot moving. Like I said, my brother Showtime is, making moves right now. I see him, as y'all can see, he's on the road. Things is going. He said, and each of us, like I said, different parts of the country, different parts, different cities, different walks of life, and which was gonna make for a good discussion. A discussion that's going to, transition smoothly, where we can gain other perspectives and hopefully, grow. Because at the end of the day, that's what everything's all about: growth and improvement as a person, improvement in character. And on top of that, just have, genuine, good discussions where, people can kind of enjoy dealing with each other. So that's it. We can go ahead and dive on into it. We're just going to stop and get some other stuff, but let's dive on into it. Soulmates and soul ties. Do they exist? Showtime. Let's see what you think about that. Do you believe in soulmates? Do you believe in soul ties?
Can y'all hear me pretty good? I can't say that I believe in soul ties and soul mates, but I do understand about energy and things that are connected to the energy. So I definitely don't believe that there's a person that's like your soulmate. I think that comes from like the zodiac, when you start to get into Gemini and the twin souls, understand? So I think that when a person just feels right to you, I think that we put that into a category, and we we love categories. So I just think that that's one of those categories of somebody that's like connected to your soul, because you have a really strong connection and you really want to be with that person and want to be around them. So I just think that that's an extreme category for us to place somebody that we really want to be around, inside that category.
All right, cool.
Can I go next?
Absolutely. Let's go. Bring it up.
Okay. Me personally, I don't believe in any of zodiacs or the soul ties or any of that stuff, to be honest with you. Because even biblically, like, stories have been rewritten so many times to fit somebody's narrative that would cause people to follow in line, to I guess create structure and wealth in themselves as well. So I don't believe in anything like that. So I believe it all boils down to, like interests. You and this one other person love something so much. You both are very passionate about it. You work towards it. So, I like being around this person. I want to continue to be around this person because we have the same mindset. We have the same goals and all that type of stuff. So I don't think it boils down to, soul ties or even soul mates. It's just your passions overall. Like, I can be around this person for the long run because we both have that same passion. So I know we'll both accomplish these things that we're both working towards. So why be with anybody else and potentially mess that up? When I have this perfect person for that, that I have that connection with. But I wouldn't say I'm soul tied. Just like interest is what I believe it is.
Okay. Kana, Tanae, what y'all think?
I was gonna see if Sister Kanai wanted to come out with bring out the definition.
Oh yeah, let's do that. Go ahead. Let's go.
I want to do that. I do want to do that because I think we're describing something that does exist. And I think that we are all souls, for one. Okay, we're not just souls, but we're also a spirit. Okay, so we are soul and spirit, right, and body, right. That's a tritart being. Tritart meaning we are three in one. I'm soul, I'm spirit, and I'm body, right? So we do know the first two things that we have that will connect or will help us to be relational to one another or related to one another in terms of soul and spirit. We have those two things. So the first definition I'm going to read is soulmate. And soulmate is a person who is perfectly suited to another in temperament, a person who strongly resembles another in attitudes or beliefs, ideological soulmates. That's kind of what Kendra just said. That's kind of what she just said. And so when we talk about a person being suited for you or perfectly suited, the word suited means right or appropriate for a particular person, purpose, or a situation, right? So we relate to one another in these areas when we talk about being souls that can relate or be perfectly suited for one another for a certain purpose. That purpose can be marriage. That purpose can be friendship. That purpose can be we just work well together, right? So with that being said, when you talk about the soul ties, because soul ties is a little bit different with the meaning or the definition of it. The soul tie is an intense spiritual connection between two people that results in a mutual learning experience. Now, that brings to mind David and Jonathan. The Bible says that David and Jonathan were knitly fitted together, like they were close to one another. It's like their souls were knitted. But also, when you look at Adam and Eve, right, you also hear the word say they become one flesh now because they were together. Adam and Eve were one flesh. You are one flesh. So that's a bond, right? That's a bond. That's a soul connection. That's a spiritual tie because they became one, right? And this is the reason why the Most High does not like divorce because those two people become spiritually connected. When you rip a friendship or when you rip a relationship spiritually, when something happens, it hurts. It hurts to the point where people can lose their mind. It hurts to the point where people are emotionally affected so deeply that their very life will unravel and they end up walking on the street having mental problems. You see what I mean? It's just that deep. So do I believe that there are soul ties? Yes. Do I believe that there is a soulmate? When we think about soulmate, we think about it's just that one person in the whole world for one person. I don't believe in that. I believe that there are different people who are suitors who are perfectly or can be perfectly suited for you. You may not be a perfect person, but there are two people that can come together and be perfect for one another. It's just like some people you get with, you don't, it's like, dang, this is too much of a dang on pull. This is no peace in this. But then you will leave that person, you might break up with that person or the friend or whatnot, and have a relationship with that person and it be smooth sailing. You see how Showtime
Yeah.
just
Can I
rolling.
can I chime in on that?
That's what it is. It's better.
Can I chime in on that statement you made? You were absolutely right when you said, two people can have that same type of goals or the same like and interest, but there's no peace. That is the most real thing I've heard in a long time. Because like I literally was just going through a certain situation. I won't get into all of that, but it was like I was the tech savvy person part of it. He was the business person part of it. And then with my knowledge of doing all of these other things, as well as, being that tech savvy person, like there was just no peace. So it just wouldn't work out that way. Like we couldn't get anything done, but we both had the same type of goal and drive and, and interest and whatnot, but it just wouldn't work with us two being together. So I really felt that when you said that. So I had to chime in on that.
Yeah, I
Okay,
agree.
okay. By the way, hey, glad to see you in, Heather. How you
I'm
doing? Hey, good
Hey,
afternoon. Good afternoon.
sorry I'm late. Sorry I'm late.
Hi,
No, you
Heather.
good. You good.
Hello. What's the name? Tanae, Kendra, Showtime. How you doing, Showtime? You must
Oh,
be
my
talking.
name is Kana. Kana.
Oh, is it Kana? Oh, Kana. I see.
Okay. Hey, yeah,
And you
yours
look
are very
beautiful
clear.
today. All of you guys look very nice. All of you guys. Everybody looks beautiful.
Hey, Hey, I second that. I actually was gonna say that from the jump. I was gonna say, hey, yeah, the ladies definitely looking good tonight. Hey, looking good tonight. Yeah, hey, for sure. But Tanae, what you got on the topic, by the way? I don't know, because I know Heather, you jumping in, but like I said, it's of course, do soulmates and soul ties exist? But I'm gonna read the definition too afterward again, because I actually do want to touch on. Y'all made some great points just so far. I just want to let y'all know y'all kind of hit some good points. But go ahead, Tanae.
Yeah, I am inclined to agree with Sister Kanai there when it comes to first we have to have an understanding of what a soul tie and a soul mate is. Um, I want to say that I believe in the concept and the fact that people are created for for another person. Um, but I also believe that those type of relationships are cultivated. I don't think somebody is just automatically going to line up with somebody. I think you have to study that person. You have to understand the wants and needs of that person. A lot of people go into relationships with a selfish intent of what can this person do for me as opposed to what can I offer this person. And that's where I don't know. It just kind of depends because I think a lot of times when people think about soulmate, they have like this Disney type of thing where it's automatically you see somebody's love at first sight and then it just comes together. But it's a lot of work involved with that. So I'm inclined to say yes, but it's not as clear cut. It's not as black and white as soulmate, soul tie, so to speak. And I guess we could dive into it a little bit later as we talk more about it.
Okay,
Indeed.
okay. Cool. Do you have more on that, Kana? Before Heather comes up, what you getting more on that?
Well, yeah, I want to agree with her as far as what she just said because see, you know, there are some instances that, and I think men are better than this than women are. Most men know their soul or their woman or their wife before the woman does. They're
Right.
very good at that. They just know. Men just be like, "That's her." Ain't gotta ask nobody. I just know that I know that's her. And a lot of times, like I said, the man knows that beforehand. But there are those times, and I've heard people, even my grandparents, they knew. My grandfather, my grandmother said we both knew. We just knew and they married within 3 months and was together for 62 years. And it's not like it's a situation that happens all of the time, but even as high school sweethearts, you've seen some of your friends, one couple out the whole school got together at 16 to 17 years old, right? And ended up staying with each other throughout college, staying with each other throughout, high school through college, and they got married and they're still together. I know a couple like that from high school, still to this day. They are together. They was together throughout high school. They're still together. They have not divorced. They're still together. So it happens that way too. So there are people who recognize one another as husband and wife very early as kids. And check it out, sometimes even as children, that person, that you could have been with that person, but they ended up moving away. Your parents stopped the relationship because we were not, we got away from the things or from the ways of our culture, like Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? They used to be with Isaac, go get a wife for my son, servant, I need you to go find, like, you know what I mean? Like, they knew how to vet for us and vouch for us, right? And connect us perfectly with somebody. And I think we've lost that in our communities where we see these young people. Yeah, that's just puppy love. That ain't nothing. It is something that how
Hey,
many marriages have been messed up because our parents said that's puppy love, that ain't nothing, you too young. No, that could have been that person's wife, that could have been that person's husband. You just didn't know how to nurture that with the other parents. Hey, look, we recognize that there's a special connection between your daughter and my son. We need to preserve this so that they can be with somebody when they get this age. You see, like when they're ready to marry at a certain age. We didn't know how to nurture those relationships, and it's unfortunate.
hey, I just wanted to ask, did you say that like that the parents like choosing the mate is like the perfect way of doing it?
Say that again, Showtime.
I think he said, are you saying that the parents choosing a mate is that the perfect way of doing it? He's asking basically like arranged marriage. I believe that's what he's saying. Correct me if I'm wrong, Showtime.
You know what? Right now, the biggest thing is, Rick, and
I didn't
Showtime,
hear y'all. It just messed up.
the biggest the biggest thing right now, and you know what everyone's talking about? Vetting. Everyone's talking
Yes.
about vetting.
Yes.
Everyone's having a conversation about vetting. And I also added vetting and vouching. Now, I don't do the IUIC thing and that, but I did see how they not only vetted people, but they were vouching. And I agree with that. We do need a community that we can have strong men and strong women who can vouch and say, you know what, this sister she's a giver, she helps out, she serves. I like that idea. And I'm actually going to do something on my platform with that. But yes, I think that it would be conducive for our community if we can get back to the elders helping us vet and vouch for one another, because we're not doing a good job at it.
And that's what I meant by
Hey, just to
saying that it's
add,
not a like that's what I meant by it's not a love at a first sight type of thing. Because I agree with you that men typically know a lot faster than women. Okay, she's the one, but there's a vetting process, and that's why I said we probably get to that later on. That takes place because a lot of people have made that mistake and thinking this is the one, only later on to find out that was actually lust and that it wasn't in fact love at first sight. It was lust at first sight because they either been healed from their last relationship, they haven't learned to recognize the red flags, things they're not listening to the advice of like those that are vouching. They're letting you know, hey, I see this in this person, but they're blinded by the love, so they don't see those red flags.
hey, I'm definitely going to do. I got a topic coming up talking about should we have arranged marriages. So I kind of love this discussion. So
I talk
yeah,
about arranged marriage with my best friend all the time. But like, your daughter and my son, we need to talk because we need to be involved in if they have and and I'm gonna shut up after this. But Rick, do you know how we see this connection early with kids? They play together well. They do everything together. I've seen these connections even with myself early. If I had I just didn't know though. But if I had been told my father or something like that guy, I really like him, he likes me, and somebody could have, just like coached us or whatnot until we were able to marry, we miss out on that. I just think so. I think it starts early with these early spiritual soul-like connections. I really do. I believe in that. I do believe it's possible.
So my question would be like, what if you as a parent say, hey, look, that guy right there is a good guy for my daughter, and you choose that guy and he do her wrong? Like, you see what I mean?
Well,
like,
we're not perfect. Soul tie don't mean we gonna be perfect.
Right, but no, I'm just saying, like, because that's what I mean. So you choosing my mate is not going to be a success. The success is going to be based on me and my mate choosing to have a connection that we hold as value. It doesn't matter if mom and daddy holds it as valuable, because what mom and dad, you could have a business that you put your whole life into, and the kid could come and say, oh, fuck it, I'm selling it. You see what I'm saying? So but it's all about what that person holds as value, meaning that that's what they're going to chase. And so you could be the best basketball player. I would love my son to follow my footsteps as he is, though. But if he don't, he has his own life. You know what I mean? I just wouldn't want to be responsible if you chose your daughter's man and he finds a way to contract a disease that she can't get rid of. Is it your fault that she has this disease? Because you arranged the situation for her to have this encounter with the brother. But if she
in my case, when did he have the disease? Because we getting tested. We doing all that. See, I'm not leaving out all of that stuff. We're just talking like on the surface. We're not really going into the steps and what it's going to take. We haven't done that. All we're trying to say is it possible for a person to have a soulmate or a soul tie? And I am saying that there is somebody suitable for everybody, right? It may not be, you will have a good suitor, a better suitor, or the best suitor for a person, right? It may not be, look, you ain't, man, I don't think we're working out, but this person I feel this zing with. This person, it's something there. So because there's something there, let's see that there's something there. Let's see the workout. Let's see what we can go through to see if we are a better match when we can go through the test of time. Have you been tested in this situation? It's not just, oh, y'all are connected, be together. Nah, not that's not how it is. We also have to be proven. The Bible says test every spirit. You still have to be tested. We just recognize that there is something there. Now that we recognize there's something there, let's see if we can court and prove this thing out. Let's test it.
So it sounds like a soulmate is like a choice. It's not like, so when I hear when I'm listening to people that's like a soulmate, it's like it's a mate whether you understand it or not. It's a soul. You didn't give yourself your soul, and you're not even most people don't even know how to touch their soul. You know what I'm saying? It's only really situations that break your heart that you feel like touches you to the core of yourself. You see what I mean? Or it's super joy that you feel like, oh man, this is like you didn't create it. You just kind of more of a response. But but when you say like a soulmate, this is like a person that is like your mate based on your genetic makeup. This is like the mate is past your thought pattern, is past your you see what I mean? It's deeper than anything that is physical. So when I think about a soulmate, that's why like, hey, we got to do all of this. Well, this person automatically
Hey, Showtime, I was gonna say you chopping up right now. I was gonna say you chopping up. Yo, Showtime, hold on, I'm gonna mute you for a second. I don't know if you can hear.
And then I just wanted to
Can you hear me now?
All right, hold on, Rick. Go ahead, tonight. What you saying?
I just kind of wanted to pick up. I think he was asking about the arranged marriages, but I just wanted to comment that I think she was mainly talking about the parents being involved in the vetting process. There was a point in time where the man had to go to the woman's father and ask for permission. We're not doing that anymore. Nobody's taking, like, these women are finding themselves in these situations with these men, and the men never went through the father, where the father could have been able to see things like, no, he's not the one. He's going to use and abuse you because they're not taking the step. It's a respect thing. That's the first thing, is a respect enough to go to the father and say, I'm interested in your daughter, so the father can get permission. And I know a lot of people don't like that word, going to a father to get permission, but who knows you better than your father or some type of father figure to let you know if you're ready or things like that. Like, we skipped that whole process. And a lot of people, I mean, look at where we're ended up at because we no longer have that process in place.
For sure. Oh, go ahead, Showtime. I know you was saying something. I know it cut out for a second, so I was like, I don't let somebody else go.
No, I was just saying, like, for it to be the perfect way, that was the idea that was presented, that it's the perfect way. And I'm saying there is no perfect way of matching people because relationships are day to day. You see what I mean? At some days you're gonna feel that same, like you said, but at some days you're gonna feel like I want to punch this dude in his mouth. But it takes discipline and consistency to continue to go through any journey. You know what I mean? It's gonna be time where you're gonna want to get off of the journey. So I just think like it's more about who are you really. Hold on one second. Hold on. I'm just saying, like, so when it's a everyday thing of choosing. You see what I mean? Because you as a parent could wake up and say, I don't want to take care of my kids. It's a choice every day. So I think like that's what a person that you choose is to be with. You're choosing every day to wake up and grab hold of that commitment that I have, because you don't have to. You could easily say, all right, I'm going to do something else on today.
Right. Well, I hope you didn't take my example as it being a perfect situation. Like I said, there's somebody perfect for you. It's just like some men will say, you know what, the woman that I have right now, I don't know how she deal with me. I don't know how she's able to do it, but I love my wife. That man is basically saying she has the patience and the grace to be able to deal with me, and he vice versa. It's not a thing of the world or Disney, like Tanya said, makes it seem as if this thing is supposed to be perfect. That's the Disney version of what we're talking about. We are talking about being with somebody and being with them, being perfect for them, but not necessarily like this thing is like pretty all the time. Like my best friend and I were talking yesterday. We go through things. She said, me and my husband, we go through things. There's some times that I don't like something he does, and there's times that he don't like something I do. We both get on one another's nerves, but we love one another. We understand one another. I have the grace to deal with him. He has the patience to deal with me. It's that long suffering kind of love. It's that long suffering, that
Yes.
meekness, humility, that kindness, that compassionate, that nurturing. You know what I mean? It's still those things that must be applied even in what we believe to be something perfect, but it's not necessarily perfect as in nothing never happens, but perfect as in I love you so much unconditionally that I'm willing to stand here and deal with what you did yesterday. It made me mad, but I love you anyhow. I might not like it, but I still love you. That's perfection.
For
That's
better or for worse.
two imperfect people coming together and making something perfect out of an imperfect situation. That's all it is. It doesn't take away human experience, but it's being
Okay,
able to
Yeah.
deal with
That
the
all
human
yeah,
experience together.
I
that all
love that.
boils down to like the definition you had given on soulmates and soul ties, where people are coming together to bond for one like purpose, person or interest or anything. The purpose is their marriage. So it all boils down straight to the definition of exactly what you said.
Absolutely.
It
That's
all boils down to interests.
give somebody else
Is
a
that a
chance.
Hey,
corporation though? Ain't that a corporation? That sounds like a corporation more. You see
It
what I'm saying?
definitely
Like
could be a
that's what
corporation, like I said earlier as well,
hold on.
for
Let me.
structure or anything like that.
Yeah, let me ask a question. When you say corporation, I'm curious to get a. Let me get an exact example. What do you mean corporation? Because I think I know where you're going, but I want to make sure I don't want to assume.
corporation partnership. You know what I'm saying? Business minded.
Mhm.
So when you say like we're gonna come together and we're gonna do this together, that's not a soulmate. That's any
Right.
partnership. That's a mother and a father. That's a brother. That's a so like when I think of a soulmate, I'm thinking about people that's going to bring forth life together. See what I mean? So I
Right.
understand that two men can,
Something they both love
make
to
a
do. Yeah.
powerful thing that right, and we can bring forth a business that bring forth life and give jobs to other people. But I'm talking about somebody that's going to bring forth the next generation. So I think that you see what I mean. So now when we're looking at it being like we have to work through these, that's like that's problem solving, and that's what I mean. That's like it's an agreement. That's why it's not like a soulmate is like something that definitely attaches to something else, and that's what it is. Just like how oil and water don't go together. You see what I mean? Just like how we melanated. When you put oil on our skin, we're gonna absorb it. It just is what it is. Our hair is gonna stand up. You see what I mean? So things that are made in the environment, this is what it does. So I think like if you saying I got a soulmate, a person that's perfect for me, then that means that person is perfect to me. I think that when you even the idea that like I've been married, me and my wife just celebrated 11 years yesterday, and I would say she is perfect for me, but this is my ideas and concepts of perfection, and she fits with inside of it based on how she
Yeah.
treats me, the things that we've been through. So I'm deciding what perfection is. You see what I mean? So another person could be getting hit sometimes, and they man is not in their life is good, and they could see that as perfection. You know what I mean? They could see everybody's idea of what perfection is different, or what they want to connect with. Some people constantly get toxic relationships. This is what they connect with. Somehow they may talk like they don't want it, but somehow this is what they attract. So we just got to be able to say if it's for me and it's right for me. Like okay, women, I don't know how many of y'all got children, right? But as soon as y'all got pregnant, none one of y'all probably knew what to do, but you were made to do. You know what I mean? If that makes sense, you were born to give children, and when you got pregnant, even though your mind was like, "Man, what do I do?" Your body was like, "I got you. I know what the hell is going on." So I think that that's soulmate right there. You see what I mean? That's what I mean by soulmate. Even though you had an experience with another person, a man outside of your body was equipped to do that what it needed to do without you thinking.
Okay, interesting. Before because I know everybody is ready to jump in and they got some responses. I definitely love that conversation moving beautifully. But I did want to Heather, what you have to add to it? I ain't want to leave you out there because I know you've been waiting patiently.
Well, what I want to first get clarity on what original.
question is, do you believe in a soulmate, like the concept of like there's this perfect spirit out there that matches with you, and y'all are meant to be together. You know what I'm saying? This one person is the perfect match, or do you in the soul tie? Like, you know, people talk about soul ties. A man and woman, they lay together, they have a soul tie. So, do you agree with those concepts?
Okay. Yes, I do believe in those concepts. I do believe that there is that perfect person. Well, and I don't want to say perfect. I like the way Showtime said it, that perfect person for you, because nobody's going to be perfect. But I do think that there is someone out there that balances you out. Just like two puzzle pieces. Every puzzle piece doesn't go together, but when you find your other puzzle piece and y'all balance each other out, and that person is perfect for you, I think that's what a soulmate is. But I feel like a lot of us either miss our soulmate or we don't know who our soulmate is because a lot of us don't know ourselves. A lot of people lack any type of self-awareness to understand who they are. And if you don't understand who you are, then how are you going to find that person that's going to be a perfect balance for you? So I do believe in soulmates, but I just think that a lot of us are not finding that person that connects perfectly with us because we lack self-awareness of who we really are. So that's kind of how I look at the soulmate thing. So I definitely believe in it. I just think a lot of us are moving past it, or we missed that person. We probably met that person, and we never connected with them because at that time we didn't even know who we were to know what our other puzzle piece was supposed to look like.
Oh, anybody got any response for that? You know, that's very interesting. I'm not gonna lie. Before I weigh in,
Right.
I was gonna weigh in my
Very
thoughts, but
well
I haven't
said.
yet.
Very well said.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, I would say for myself, for one, I do. Let me touch on some of the because I did see some very good comments. Far away my thoughts in. I did like Kid Nairobi said. Hopefully I said that right. How can you find your soulmate if you haven't found yourself yet? Which is what Heather was just touching on. You gotta know who you are. Like, I mean, that's very interesting. I mean, I believe so. Off top, I believe you gotta know who you are. If you don't know who you are, how can you even think for a second who the person you're looking for is if the person's supposed to match you if you don't know you? It doesn't make sense. So yeah, I did like that. There was another one, and I did want to touch a question from Christina. Okay, do you become someone's soulmate, or are you born someone's soulmate? Thought that was a great question. It's actually going to kind of touch on what I had, thought about earlier. Well, not what I thought about, kind of my outlook on some of it. So yeah, and Christina said, "Can friends be soulmates?" And I did. Kana touched on it earlier, talking about David and Jonathan. She said their souls are knit together. So I did love that. So in that concept, yes, it depends. See, and I'm gonna read the definition of soulmate again because I think it was interesting, even the just the very definition, and I think it should be heard. And soulmate, and this is Google definition, of course. It's not scripture, so we're not like, oh, this is, that. But a person ideally suited to another as a close friend or romantic partner. A person ideally suited to another as a close friend or a romantic partner. So, one thing, by definition, what asked by Christina, yes, two friends can be soulmates. Now, obviously, people of the same sex can't be together. Obviously, absolutely not, because two people can't create life. It's impossible. Yeah, completely impossible. But we do know this. They can be, them people knit together. They can be great together. They can work together. They can be a partnership. You know what I'm saying? You can think of, of course, we know you talk about, LeBron and Wade. You talk about, Jordan and Pippen. Joe Montana, Jerry Rice. So you have these connections that people love that's gonna go together. But, does not mean that they are that concept that people use soulmates, like these two are meant to be together in harmonious marriage, because we all know that people talk about Shaq and Kobe together, but they weren't soulmates, but they did work together they got to win some championships, but it was an unhappy marriage. You know what I'm saying? So we know that as well. But I do want to touch on this, like I said, because I know I was waiting. I want to say the concept itself, soulmates, as far as this one spirit floating around in the universe that just waiting to match up with you, and y'all are just perfectly aligned. You're gonna match up together and y'all agree on everything. Y'all like the same bubble gum flavor. Y'all like the same cereal. Y'all like the same car. You know what I'm saying? Y'all like everything. Y'all even have the favorite same Ninja Turtle. Yeah, y'all got all these favorites that go together. Believe in that concept. The concept of two people being just perfectly fed together. Because when you're talking about soulmates, it's like everybody has this one person. Everybody has to be a person. Well, for one, honestly, most people are not even fit to be with someone, honestly, because going into what was said by a few other people, by other people that stated, guess what? They don't know who they are. So if you don't know who you are, how in the world can you be like, you got this soulmate out here and you don't even know your own soul, and you don't even realize that the soul you have is broken, your spirit is broken. A lot of times we have broken spirited people that's talking about, they trying to get with somebody, or they saying nobody should get together. They talk about the whole concept of marriage being, dumb as well, or foolish, and it's pointless. Well, no, it's just you're a pointless person. You just have not gotten yourself together, and then you talking about this don't work. It don't work. You don't work. Sometimes we got to look within and realize, nah, it's not that. Because I'm gonna be honest, as far as me myself, we talking about a soulmate. Another reason I don't believe in that, where there's just one super special being out here. No, it's just there are people that are on upper echelon. There's different levels of women out here, just like there's different levels of men. And there are levels of women that are, for one, the highest level women are the ones that are going to listen and be quiet. The ones that can listen and be quiet can be instructed. And at the end of the day, I'm going to make her into what I need her to be. It ain't so much about she's got to already be this. No, I'm gonna make her into what all right, she's gonna become X, Y, and Z, because I'm going to give her these directions. And if she's not able to do these things, then she's not somebody that can even be that, because she can't even be on my program. She's gonna be on my program. She's going to be that no matter what. It's off top it's gonna be a smooth transition, because you're like, okay, this is the man. I believe there are many women that can fit in that mold and like, all right, that can be that. But the ones that can't, that don't have the ability to, be quiet and listen and learn and be instructed and be kind. If you can't even be nice to people, then no, you're not a soulmate. You're not the person for me. I can deal with you, because at the end of the day, certain men know I can choose a woman and she can be what I need her to be. Bottom line, the soul tie thing I'll touch on later. But go ahead in case anybody gets some rebuttals, because I know I said a lot.
No, I think you hit the nail on the head with that.
I got a question.
Yeah.
So as beings that are in housing of a soul, a spirit, and we have the body, how do you even get a soul? What is a soul? You see what I mean? Like, what is a soul and how do you get it? When do you get it? Because we know the process of the body is you have the connection between male and female. The woman has an egg that has everything to make a human, and then that zygote moment forms some energy. But all of that process, where is the soul coming in at? Or is there two souls that's coming together? Right? Is there two souls that's coming together to make one? I mean, to make this one soul. Where was the soul at? You get what I mean? So all of these questions first have to be answered. Like, where is the soul? Like, and is your soul the same thing as mine? Because your brain is the same thing as mine. Your liver will be the same thing. That's why you can have heart transplants. It's made up of the same tissues. You see what I mean? So what's the difference? You see what I mean? So, like, that's my question.
Can I answer
Let me touch on one real quick thing, Kana, because I do want to. I'll just say, when it comes to the soul and spirit are one and the same. As far as the soul is your spirit, is who you are, the makeup of what person, the type of person you are. Who you are is how you think, and not just what you think, because what you think can change from time to time, but how you think is your spirit. So, and you talking about who gives it to you, and then that goes into, now it's gonna go on a philosophical thing, because again, at the end of the day, I'm a person that I believe that, of course, that we are God's chosen people. So I believe that the scriptures are 100% true. I believe in the God of Israel, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So when it comes to the spirit, tell me from the word of God is that God gave me our spirit. So if you saying where did it come from, the Most High, I can't tell you how I got there, but that's what I believe. But can I go ahead? I didn't want to. I know you had something on it.
Y'all keep going.
Okay, now that was all I had on it.
Okay, so basically, look, okay, so basically we do understand that the Most High is the creator of man, right? So in Genesis chapter 2, in chapter 2, verse 7, it talks about what God did when he made the soul. He said that the Lord God formed man. So he formed man, right? So with the formation of man from the dust and the ground, he said that he breathed life into the nostrils of a man, and he became a living soul or a living being. So that's how the soul came. That's what happened. He took a man, he before man from the dust in the ground, right? And then he took his own breath and he said, and he breathed. Man, look, y'all don't, I ain't finna preach. I'm not finna preach. But with that being said, you just said something, Showtime. You said, what's the makeup of it? And how does that soul match with your soul or something that I think you said something like that. Here's the thing. Every person is going to go through life. We collect things along the way. We go through things along the way. When we are born into this world, we are given to one person or two people, because we don't know if daddy is still there or mom, is still there after the birth of the baby, whatever. But we do know we are in a person's house or an environment or a culture. That thing is going to shape your soul, shape your spirit, shape your mind, shape who you are, right? And so with those things that are being shaped and deposited into you, whether, some people come from a broken home, some people don't come from a broken home. Some people come from a home where not everything was perfect, but they did get the necessary rules of life. Maybe one person was raised up in the admonition of the Most High, and maybe another person wasn't. So whatever it was deposited into that person's soul, that's what that person is going to have to carry them over into the walks of life. Like the Most High said, or Uncle Solomon, he say, train up a child in the way they should go. This soul is being trained to do something. This soul is being trained to do something. Your mind is being trained to think something. And so what those things going together, you're going to act those things out, right? Whether they be good or whether they be bad. It could be a mixture of things. But nevertheless, you're being brought up to live a certain kind of life. And those souls, your emotions, that's your soul, right? Your thoughts, that's your soul, right? And so whatever those things are that can carry you out throughout this life, those things are going to come out of your soul and your spirit or your soul. And so that's why Christ said, or Paul said, be renewed by the renewing of your mind. Why? Because God understands that you were born into sin. So because you were born into this fallen nature or this fallen place, now I got to renew your mind, because Adam messed up. Adam and Eve, y'all first parents, they didn't do right. So I got to go ahead and encourage you to renew your mind and be born again. You must be born again. Why? Because we are now in a fallen state. The fallen state causes us to do certain things and to live a certain way and to think a certain way, which is carnal minded, right? You're carnally minded. So when you being carnally minded, that carnal mind cannot have a relationship with God. It's at enmity with God. So you got to find a way to renew that and to get back in good grace with the Most High. How do we do that? Through Christ.
Hey, you hit on something I gotta touch on. I gotta hit this one, and I love how you said that you have to renew your mind. And what was amazing about you saying you got to renew your mind, and that kind of ties into what I said. I can make a woman to who I need her to be. I believe I'm that. I believe I'm the man that's like, hey, I'm that great of a catch. I'm that great of a man, that great of a leader, that I'm going to be like, this is what it's going to be. And you're going to change your mind to what I need you to do. You need to get in my good graces. You need to become who I need you to be. I'm going to form you. Just like the Most High formed me from the dust of the ground and created me to be in his image, which is to act like him. I'm going to form that woman to be like me. So meaning she's going to, and time touched on him. He said his wife is going to follow his values. Yeah. And same thing. A woman's going to deal with me. She's going to follow my values. She's going to follow what I understand. And guess whose values I'm going to follow? I'm going to follow my creator, my leader, my ruler, my king, all of that stuff. That's how we're going to look at it. So it's all on when it comes to this. So when we're talking about a soulmate, the soulmate is really, like I said, it's just more so about, do I believe there are certain spirits that can be for me? Absolutely, because that's the spirits that have the will to want to follow. If you got a woman that just wants to straight up do her own thing, she wants to rebel, she refuses to submit, she refuses to be in subjection, to support, she don't want to be in a support position as a woman, then no, she's not made to be that. Now, I'm not saying it can't be that, but at the end of the day, no, she's got to be on that page I'm on, and if she can't be, she's not suitable. And again, I got to be on a page with my creator to be suitable, because that also goes into many men and I said many people aren't suited to be with somebody, so I don't want to make it seem like it's just women. Many men aren't suited to be. Matter of fact, I would venture to say way more men are not suited, they're not fit to be in any type of situation to lead someone.
Really quick. There's a
absolutely. Go ahead, Kendra.
Yeah, there was a statement that I was given. Well, not really given. I was reading a book by Shahrazad Ali. I can't even remember what the name of the book was, but she has this way of, letting the man be the authority.
Oh, hold on, real quick. I'm sorry, Kendra. Hold on. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Shahrazad Ali's a beast. All right, continue. I love her.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but there was and a couple of, seminars of hers that I've watched on YouTube as well. And, it all goes on to that subject of
that's it right there.
Yeah. Into the man being the leader and the authority and figure, and a woman following him. But, some men take that too far, as, saying, I'm going to groom this woman. They take it into the point where it's more of a controlling thing than looking for, that type of perfect match or anything like that. But yeah. Sorry, I ain't want to interrupt too long, but yeah.
No, I love what you brought out.
She is a beast. Yeah, she is. She's definitely getting women together. And men, I mean, not, with women getting us on, Yeah, I agree.
I've been listening to Shahrazad Ali since I was in the 10th grade. And I wanna say something to you, Rick, about what you just said, and I'm glad you said it. Our spirits are soul connecting. And spirit connected right now. Because I always say that men say that they are visually driven. I'm driven. Men are driven. Men are driven by what they see, visually driven, right? And that's fine. But normally and typically, looking at the aesthetics of a woman, and you talk about a man who's looking for a wife. And what I've been talking about with these men is that, look, let me tell y'all something. Y'all go choose the strange woman and you let her come to your soul. You chose her out of your driven visual flesh. That was what you brought to yourself, because you didn't check her soul and you didn't check her spirit. Now you done found out she on Xanax, Prozac, who's that, Bozak, why is that, she whack. You done chose the wrong thing because you were so driven by what she looked like. And this is what I want to say to men. Stop choosing these women who don't match your spirit and your soul. Because like Rick just said, if she's not submissive, if she's not if she's rebellious, if she's on that feminist movement, I don't care if she look like Beyonce, I don't care what she look like, she will not do or be the woman you need her to be. But you think that you can change that because you got the money, because you look good, and because whatever the case may be. But women ain't that simple, baby. And I'm gonna tell you something. When you do choose a woman that is not matching up in your spirit that way, she will cause you problems for the rest of your life. And that's why a lot of y'all stressed out. And that's why a lot of y'all can't sleep. And that's why a lot of y'all can't even go home. And that's why a lot of y'all sit up here and say, ain't no good women out here. There's a lot of good women out here. The problem was you got that one that you let get away because she wasn't fleshy enough for your flesh.
Hey, she's spitting out here, man. She's spitting. Heather, I see you got something to say. I can see it. I see it on your face.
No, she's absolutely right. I mean, I understand that men are visual first, but that's gotten a lot of men in trouble. And I see some men say, I'm visual first, but she's got to come along with the other things. But a lot of the times, because you are visual first, you pass up that may not be easy on the eyes for you. looking at all of the physical, the behind, the chest, everything else is what gets you all first, and that's what gets you all in trouble. And that's how you end up with the wrong woman thinking that you're going to be able to change her. You can't change a woman. So if she doesn't come already suited to be a wife, then you're not going to be able to change her into that.
And see, that's what got Samson in trouble. Because Samson, when Samson got in trouble, he told his parents, find me a girl outside of Israel. I don't want Israel. See, the men, they want to go get the heathen woman. And so you go pick yourself. Even Israel women can be heathenistic. So, but he wanted the women that wasn't praying. He wanted the women that wasn't at home taking care of their husband. He wanted the party girl, the Magic City girl. You know what I mean? And those are the things that Samson did to himself. So a lot of y'all are out here being like Samson, because the thing that Samson lost at the end, he lost his what? His eyes. I'm visually driven. Yeah, your eyes gonna get blotted out because you don't know how to go out there and pick a suitable woman for you in the things that you know that you supposed. She don't wear the fringes that you say that you be wearing. She don't wrap her hair up. My hair ain't wrapped today. I don't wear a wrap all the time, but my spirit is in accordance with the Most High. You ain't even checking to see if she walking with the Most High. Do she got Bibles?
Right.
Do she read? Is she skyscraping every weekend? Is she at the club every weekend? Do you find a woman that's gonna put you first in the priorities, put you first as a man and the kids in your household? No, because you too busy looking at, I'm gonna get her, I'm gonna change her. No, you're not. No, you're not. She is a strange woman, and that strange woman gonna get you in trouble. Y'all better get like Job, because Job said, I made a covenant with my eyes. I made a covenant with my eyes that my eyes, why then I should think upon a maid. What is he saying? I need to be careful out here. My eyes need to be trained. I need to make a covenant with my eyes that I ain't gonna look at Tanea with her aesthetics and her body. Boom, boom, boom. I'm not gonna look at that. I'm gonna train myself. I can't do that. I'm men. Okay, that's carnal. Because don't tell me that the Most High gave us a word that's supposed to change your soul and spirit, and you telling me that the word don't got the power to shut down your flesh? Fast. Go fast somewhere. Go sit down and fast for 3 and 4 and 7 days. Go down there and kill your flesh. Kill it.
Hey, I definitely agree with most of what you're saying. I gotta say, I agree with most of it. But I gotta say one thing, sadly enough, looks is a requirement to get in the door. It's like, okay, I'll put it like this. I
ain't saying don't stop it. I'm just saying I'm saying
it shouldn't override righteousness. Absolutely not. I think what happens with a lot of people, looks overrides righteousness, and that should never be. You know what I'm saying? But it's kind of like I'll put it like it's like because I know I've talked to people about they say, well, I don't want to go into this, but okay, let's say and I'll use an example as far as like getting on the girls' basketball team. You know, to get on the girls' basketball team, you got to be a girl. Let's just put it like that. You can't be a boy. Be like, I'm going to make the team. You can't do that. You have to be a girl first. So what I'm saying as far as when it comes to, you know, women, to first get in the door, you gotta have some sort of attraction. Some sort of physical attraction. We got to have it. You know what I'm saying? And we know scriptures even talk about, you know, a beautiful countenance, a beautiful woman cheers the countenance. You know what I'm saying? So got to have some type of looks, because what happens is some women, and again, I'm not completely going against what you're saying, Kana, because again, I agree with you. Many brothers, they go off these looks, and they won't even see a woman has any type of will to actually cooperate. These women are completely uncooperative. They will not even work with you. They can't even have a conversation with you. Contentious as hell. But then turn around and you like, ooh, I want her just because she look good, because she got the double D's, or she got the, you know what I'm saying, or she got the BBL. You know what I'm saying? Is it really that serious? Like, come on. So at the end of the day, you got to realize that you're chasing after something that's not going to profit you in anything. But again, to get on the team, you have to be you got to be a girl. So with the looks, with a girl, you got to look like something. And that even goes into, because one thing I will say I love that Kevin Samuels used to say is how it's disrespectful for women to be like, I don't have to exercise, I don't have to work out, I don't have to be fit for him. And that's very disrespectful, because that's kind of telling us that we don't matter. And it goes back into being a soulmate. You can't be someone's mate if you don't even want to present yourself as a mate. That's kind of really what I'm going into. You got to present yourself as a mate. You can be a soul, but you ain't nobody's mate. So, but that's all I got on it for now.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, I agree too, Rick. We can't get, because I think a lot of times we might get comfortable, and then we also have to make sure that because I agree wholeheartedly that righteousness should be at the top, but also make sure that they're genuinely righteous, because we got a lot of sisters in head wraps and fringes that are talking the good talk. They know the scriptures, but when it comes time for application, then and that only comes with time. Like that's why it's definitely important to prove and vet somebody, because they talk a good talk, but when it comes time to that, for better or for worse, or times get hard, are they going to stand by you and things like that? So I mean, I definitely believe that the men, it starts with the men, but the women they got to learn accountability too. And that's something I think that our women is lacking, is accountability.
Oh, for sure. What you got, Showtime? I see you had something.
Yeah, man. I was gonna ask, like, let me get back where y'all can see me because it's dark on this bus. But like, even like just then, Miss Tanae said, it starts with the man. It really starts with the woman. It starts with the woman. The first conversation that you have on this earth is between your body and your mother's body. First conversation. So for you to hear, you heard through her body. Her body was designed to feed you. That's another way of communicating. You see what I mean? So also, it's just like she's giving you your skin. Your skin was given to you by your mother. She developed your cognitive thinking. Your brain was developed by her body. So and a lot of times, we hear, and Shanat, and I hope y'all know that I don't subscribe to what the Bible says, because most of y'all can't say when the Bible was written. We don't have time periods, so but we know that there was cultures that say otherwise. So when we go into different cultures have different expectations or explanations of what God is, what the divine is, what the woman role is. So when we say, you know what I mean, like even when I look at the Bible, the woman wasn't even a part of God's creation, until some situations happen. So now for me to, have to say, well, this is how things are. Well, I know that other cultures put a woman on a different pedestal. So it's just like, and then for us to say, well, the soul is given to you by God. A lot of us haven't even validated God. If you know what I mean? So not to make this a conversation about religion, but if we're going to use the religion as premise for reality, we have to validate what is the religion and what is God. And a lot of people say, hey, God said this. But if you go back into Hebrew and read about God, God is the Elohim. Elohim is usually a plural word, meaning multiple gods. So usually multiple things that you're talking about. You see what I mean? So it's like, we don't have a, like, how could you, get to find your soulmate if you don't know thyself? So how could you understand what thyself is if you have a premise of thyself that is distorted based on writings? Nobody can tell you who you are better than you. But the problem I think we have is we allow writings and other people's intelligent way of perceiving life dictate the way we think or perceive ourselves. So, I just, even with what Rick said, with like a woman is designed to do in this world the thing that is the impossible. She brings forth life. I don't know how, you know what I mean? Like when you eat a fruit and vegetable, your body is nourished because of that which was brought forth by that seed. So when the woman brings forth the seed, like she is like, I don't see how we can't see her as like the portal to the universe. But the Bible tells you that this portal came out of a man who doesn't have a portal. So when you really go back and look at it, you gotta like really analyze it. Just like if this dude looks like he's a good guy, well, you gotta, like I said, you gotta vet him. I guess that's the word y'all using. But at the end of the day, it's based on the things that he manifests in this world that will decide what type of energy or who he is or who he ain't.
Okay, I want to make a quick comment on. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tanae. You.
Oh, I just want to address the fact that he had brought out first how how I had mentioned that it starts with the man first instead of the women first. Now, don't get me wrong, the women definitely have, like I said, accountability. But when I say the men first, I mean, when it comes to, again, the vetting process, I have to be able to trust that he can lead me. He's got to, like men and women, even I'm going to go by the Bible because that's my culture. I understand, how you feel about the Bible, whatever. But even if we're just talking about the nature of men and women, men are providers, men are protectors. Men, that's what I mean by it starts with the man. I can't go out here in this world. I mean, I can go out here thinking that I can protect myself, but that has proven me wrong. That I can't go out here and be this masculine person. I've been there, done that. So that's why I say it starts with the man. Like that's what I mean in that premise. So that's because we're talking about soulmates and soul ties and things of that nature. So when I say it starts with the man, I have to be able to feel secure. That man has, I'm going to bring something, he's going to bring something, but it starts with him being able to provide me some type of security. Because I'm leaving my father. I'm right as an unmarried woman. I'm with the father or some type of father figure. I'm leaving his security and going to this man's security. So it starts with him. I can't. Does that make sense, or am I all over the place? You know what I'm
saying? No. I'm with you. Security, providers.
I definitely have accountability on, proving and vetting and making sure that I'm not just going with some clown. But he has to, be able to prove or show that he's able to take care of me and provide for me and protect me and things of that nature. So I do believe it starts with the men and making sure that they understand that who they are. And again, I'm gonna go with my culture, who they are in Christ or, in God or whatever, and to make sure that they're secure in that before I even consider even looking that way.
But and I do believe I don't touch on one point because you did. I know I want to touch on the seed point really quick. I don't want it because I know again I want to go too far off the topic with the soulmates and soul ties. But when it comes to even as far as a mate, since we're talking about soulmates and mating and being tied together, which I'm actually the next point I'm gonna segue into soul ties. I do want to touch on that before we ended the stream. When you talking about bringing forth life, at the end of the day, the woman is not the creator of life. She is the carrier of life. She is the incubator of life. When you're talking about life, the seed, even thinking about planting, you planting crops. You go out, you wanna plant some tomatoes. You're gonna dig a hole in the ground. You're gonna make a hole. You're gonna dig. You're gonna put the seed inside the hole. And you're gonna cover that up. The hole's gonna close back up again, and then the seed's going to grow into what it is, and it's going to be nurtured and carried by that incubator, which is the woman. Well, the same process happens, and I'm not going to get too graphic, but y'all understand what a man, even they say even when you talk about in a lot of rap lyrics, you're here, I'm digging her out. What is he doing? Or Steffes Cole, shout out to Steffes Cole, he'll say the digging stick. You dig into the woman, you plant your seed into her after you dig inside, and then the seed planted in her, and then it grows, it's nurtured by the woman. So the woman is the nurturer because women are to be nurturing. But you're talking about as far as having the seed, the woman doesn't have the seed. The man has the seed. We plant it, and it grows, and that seed is us. And that's why. So, again, what Tanae said, I agree with her. It starts with the man. Absolutely.
So that's where we disagree because if you're not in a space where you are even conscious enough about yourself to do the things that are going to produce results in this world, confidence, self, independence, loving, knowing thyself. If you ain't in a space where you have control of you, it starts with you first. How you gonna be anything you're gonna do for somebody else? You need to be available and understand your role in it. Just like what you said, like his masculinity is not gonna save you from the world. So that's
saved me. It saved me.
But in certain situations, but
saved my whole entire life.
But I bet you masculinity. Hold on one second, Queen. Hold on one second. I know you got your point, but wisdom is what saves people. Masculinity will get beat up by masculinity. This is what war is: masculine energy versus masculine energy. So which one is the winner? Which one is the god? The masculine energy that wins, or the masculine energy that loses? Or the one that's right, or the one that's wrong? They all masculine energy.
The masculine energy with wisdom. The masculine energy with wisdom behind it.
That's what I'm saying. So wisdom is the thing that's going to save you, not masculine energy. Wisdom, if you go by your Bible, wisdom is told that it's a woman. She. So we understand that wisdom is the thing that keeps you safe, not your strength, because you can't outstrength the world, but you can be wise enough to not put yourself in situations that could bring about destruction. That's the strength. That's the power. You don't need a man to have that, and a man doesn't need a woman to have that. He needs to have discipline and an ear to hear. So when you say, hey, if he ain't grounded in this Bible, if this man got wisdom, you're going to miss out on exactly what we're talking about our soulmate, because you're not ready based on your ideology of what I believe is or what I believe ain't, based on what they said and what they wrote. But in your life, you're looking for a particular thing that may not be what you have always been told it's going to be. Just like we were told, hey, this is how this is how the body works. This is what a woman egg is. This is what DNA is, when they haven't even seen DNA. You see, when a lot of the things that y'all go through during pregnancy, they don't even know to this day. You are still a mystery. You see what I mean? So I think that what the woman is and what the man is still undefined. We don't know what keeps our life going when we breathe. How did the breathing get connected to the body? We'll say God did it. So how did God go inside the body and do it? How did he do it? What did he connect?
He just
What did he
told you.
use?
I
I
mean,
just
No,
that's,
you
read
that's
it.
one
did.
of those questions.
You
I
didn't
want.
tell me nothing about carbon. You didn't tell me nothing about electric. You didn't tell me nothing about
Because
nitrogen. You
that's
didn't tell me
a
nothing
different book.
about.
Yeah.
Different
Hold on,
book.
hold
It's
on.
not a
I don't want us to go too far off. Let's go ahead and I want to stay on the top because
yeah,
we
yeah,
ready to
yeah.
go into a whole nother conversation. I'll stick with it.
Right.
I'll go with the last point of the night before we for the night as far as the soul ties, because I know some people mention what they believe on soul ties, and again, so far the soulmate discussion has been beautiful. Actually, I believe so. I love it. Soul ties, and I know a lot of people say soul ties, like if two people they have sex, they lay down, that there's a soul tie between the two. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'll start it off. I know
Yeah,
everybody go first and
I
start
was
off.
going to touch on that. So
I
yeah.
I don't believe in a soul tie as far as, oh, the man is intertwined with the woman and she's intertwined with him. Now, I believe the two can become one, because Kana made a point earlier about the two. You come together, become one flesh. I do believe, but it does not mean that that man is strictly tied to that woman, because we know that over time, for one, since the beginning of time, the most powerful and strongest men have had more than one woman. They've had more than one wife. Women are drawn to power. They're drawn to powerful men, period, point blank. And that just is what it is. They're drawn to wise men, powerful men, masculine men, all of that stuff. And then if you're going to have that, guess what that means? They're going to desire survival. You know what I'm saying? And in fact, of course, we know there are more women than men. So when you talk about a soul tie, you talking about a man is just tied to that one woman. I think that's a philosophy, a Western philosophy that came about to kind of put women on that equal level with us, or even better. So when you talk about a soul tie, a woman is tied to a man. I 100% believe that a woman, if she lays with a man, there's something that ties her to him. His spirit is in her, because she has allowed him to dominate her in every way. You know what I'm saying? And everybody understands that she's dominated. And I don't want to get too graphic on it, but y'all understand what I mean. So when she's dominated by that man, she is going to be tied to him, because he has control of her body. And then a lot of times, if he has control of her body, she allows him control of her mind. Now, we know that, again, Western philosophy, soul tie, now we got people believing that he doesn't have dominance over me. He don't control me. He can't tell me what to do, even though she's let him take his body. But anyways, soul tie. Do I believe a man is tied and his spirit is tied into all these different women? No, it is not the same for men at all, in any way, shape, or form.
No, I agree with that, because we receive a deposit, and men gives, like it's the give and receiving in, and you guys lose strength. You guys lose strength when you enter into a woman. You guys lose strength. So you're right. We get the deposit. We get the deposit. We get the tie, because we're tied to that man. We're tied to that man, and I don't think that the tie was necessarily just to one woman. You, like you said, men, can connect with multiple women. I think it's different for women. I think it's different for women. I believe that if a woman is tied to too many men, I just that we call them strawberries, because I mean, you cannot be out here. See what the way our body is made, even when you look at the anatomy of a woman, you know what I mean? The way that we, connect like that is too much of a deep emotion. Like it's look, y'all can't handle the emotions of a woman. That's already scientific. You cannot, you can't handle it. We were built for to have this kind of emotion to the measure that we do for a reason. Why? We have children that we have to nurture. We have so many things that we have to take care of our men, right? Not only our men, but then we got a community. Remember the Proverbs 31 woman, or a woman that's is showing you the example of what a woman is. She does many things, right? And so that's why we have so much of that. But we have to be put in a situation where we're able, right, to take on those things and do it effectively, right? That's why the woman today is breaking down easier and faster, because there's only one person in the house handling 5 children at one time. That's too much. Not that she can't do it, but she's going to be more stressed than the woman that is married with 5 children when she got a helpmate in the house to help her. All right. But we're built to take on that emotion for a reason. I will say this about the soul time, and that's gonna be it. When a woman is connected to a man in that way, also, that woman literally can feel everything that man is going through. Like it's literally like you be like, what's wrong with him? You be feeling stuff, you be thinking stuff. It's the mind. He's on your mind all day. You thinking about him all day. You do everything for him all day. It's like this just tie that she has, right? And so I think that we got to be very careful as women when we go out here and just lay with somebody. That's why when
That
Christ
part.
that woman at the well, he said, yeah, you got 5 husbands. You got how many husbands? 4 husbands, and the one of 5, and the one you have ain't one. I was thinking that Christ was saying, and Rick, maybe you can help me with that. I was thinking that Christ was saying the one you with now is not your husband. And I was wondering, well, why did he say that? Did she sleep with him yet? Or you know what I mean?
She was getting knocked down. She was getting
but
piped. Yes, she
with him,
was.
but he was just not with her and committed to her. You know what I mean? Like, but he knew
He
those
didn't make
ties
a
were
he
there.
didn't make a covenant with her. You just
There you
he's
go.
sleeping
Okay.
with her, but didn't make a covenant. It was no
I,
agreement. So yeah.
I got you. So yeah, with that being said, soul ties, you know, like I say, the first knitted situation, or the both of them that I've heard of, was just the two becoming one flesh. And also when somebody is sleeping with you, it's just like Paul talked about in First Corinthians, I think First Corinthians 6, where he talked about, connecting yourself with a harlot, a body that somebody done been with everybody. They talk about right now is body count. And there's a reason why men have a problem with a woman having such a high body count. Why? Because those ties that she got, that she never severed, she may not get a chance to fall in love with you like you want her to, because she keep remembering Johnny, Tyrone, Ricky, and Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike, Ron. They keep coming back up, and she cannot. And it's scientifically proven. Like the saying that we used to say back in the hood, you can't make a housewife. That's real.
Hey,
Do
you
a
Scientifically
can't.
woman not
proven.
care about a man's body count?
Huh?
Does a woman not care about a man's body count?
Absolutely. I think women do care, but we don't care to the extent that y'all care.
Right.
I think you're wrong. I think you have to know what a
I
man
said
cares
to the
about.
extent. I said to
Right,
the
but no, I'm saying
extent.
like no, I'm saying like that's like me trying to describe what it feels like to have breasts. I can't. I can only fathom with what other women like yourself have said and use their examples. So when you're talking about a man, you have zero understanding of what we feel like. You can only go
Well,
off
I've heard you
observation,
guys, but wait a minute, Showtime. You're going too fast. I've heard men talk about it. This is a
right?
conversation going on TikTok right now. And I am
Right?
old enough to know brothers in the hood. When we had women that was 304 and hood ratting and strawberrying, those were the girls that got disrespected. Those were the girls that the men did not want. They wanted the girls that were chasing. They didn't want the girls that was they treated those other girls a different way. And my
Right?
grandmother always told me, you only got two things. You got your word and you got your reputation. Don't destroy them.
Right?
And don't
So, but
destroy it by giving up yourself to all these Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mikes. Because it body count, this conversation, it has always been. It's just that now that we are here, men are starting to talk a little bit more and get these things out. I've always known what the difference is just because of a man.
Hey, we're gonna have the body count conversation too. That's actually gonna be that's an upcoming video too. I already got the thing ready. I can't wait for that one. So I don't want to go too much into it, but except it ties into soul tie, let's definitely hit that.
Yeah.
So I want to say with the soul ties, you want to go ahead, go.
I'm sorry, say it again. Your sound went low.
I was just saying, like, if she wanted to go, then she can go ahead. Somebody else was speaking, but I was going to say, when it comes to soul ties, you know, it's when a man and a woman lay down, what they're doing is transferring energies and ideas, right? So what our DNA does is it records our experiences.
I want to ask a question, Rick, that girl is asking when Showtime is done. I'm sorry, Showtime. I apologize.
For sure, definitely.
So when you exchange energies with somebody, your DNA records it. Just like when you have a good time, your brain releases dopamine. So your DNA records your good times. This is how your kids develop habits and things that they are naturally able to do. You see what I mean? So when we look at soul ties, I definitely think that there is like an energy that never leaves. Like you connect with somebody, you may be friends for the rest of your life, but if you're not friends for the rest of your life, you never forget that person. You know what I mean? You still remember whatever connection that you had with that person, whether it was positive or negative. Why? Because your DNA stamped it, especially if it was like a fight, a kiss, or something that had energy released into it. You see what I mean? So yes, when you lay down with somebody, this is the ultimate releasing of energy. So it's not a soul tie, it's a connection that is stamped. You can't let go of the stamp. Just like the person that, you shoot somebody and go to jail, no matter how bad you want to take the fact that you shot this person, you did it. So you can't take back that you made with a person. Your DNA is always going to have that memory. You see what I mean? So I think that's what a soul tie is. Really, it's just a memory of energy that was released. Just like when you your first kiss, your fight you had with the bully, your parents not listening to you when you was really, really mad. So it was just a release of energy that made you remember these moments in life. So you can now alter the way you operate or continue in that path.
Hey, let me touch on really fast. I don't know if anybody's had another comment. Cannot if you have a response. You saying it's always gonna be a memory of that, as far as that that encounter, that release of energy. It's gonna be two separate memories though. You gotta think about this. Let me think of there is one memory of being conquered and another memory of conquering. If you got conquered, you for damn sure gonna remember that, because that's a bad memory. That's a painful memory. That's traumatic. That's a traumatic experience. And then you think about conquering. That's something you feel good about. That's something you come out smiling. You come out like, yeah, I'm the champion. You know what I'm saying? You talking about Michael Jordan and his 6 titles, and then you talk about one of the worst players in the league. They got 6 seasons where they've only won 10 games out of 82. Yeah, the person that was on the team that won 10 out of 82 games, it went 10-72, and you got Michael Jordan with the 72-10 Bulls. I think it was 72-10, whatever it was. They won 70 games. If you on that team, you're gonna be like, yes, we the conquerors, we're the greatest. We come in and taking everything by storm. The league don't want to deal with us. That's the difference between a man and a woman. A man is conquering, a woman is being conquered. So when a woman gets conquered, and that's going to be a bad feeling, because that's not like the man came in and his society, he didn't come in and take over the kingdom. It's like, all right, here, we're going to treat y'all good. It's like, no, we're going to just destroy y'all's kingdom. You know what I'm saying? We're going to burn it down with fire. We're going to take your women and children. That's what happens to the woman that gets knocked down by a man, and then he moves on to the next. She got conquered. That man that conquered is like, I'm good. He moved on. So when you talk about a soul tie, it's a totally different thing. You're talking about a man and a woman.
But Rick, when you're talking about a woman, you can't say that, because what is conquering? Conquering is getting that which you wanted. If she saw a man and she wanted to get him into her web, and he comes into her web, and she now wants to release him out of her web, that's conquering. You see what I mean? But when you're saying,
man, she conquered a simple man. That's what she did.
No, but that's the same thing Rick was just talking about. A man that conquered a simple woman. You see, now the woman, now it's a simple. But when Rick was just talking about a woman getting conquered, she's not simple. Or the man get conquered. You see what I mean? So the woman has to be simple too. So, but this one thing. So if the woman gets conquered,
not necessarily. Let me help you. Because I'm a woman. You said you can't understand, right? And I'm only getting my information from men and what I know about men, because I study psychology, by the way, and I study men. I know men and I study them. I don't know everything about a man because I'm not a man. But I will tell you this about women. If a man is good at words, and if a man can get a woman to believe those words, that's the most. I was just talking to y'all. Check this out. I talked to a woman this past weekend. She said that she was with some man, met him at 19 years old. He was 28. She said that this man never touched her within 9 years. She's been knowing this man, been with him 9 years, and he has never touched her in any kind of sexual way. Any kind of sexual way. She said this man has sent her videos and stuff of other interactions with other women, but he has never touched her. And in her mind, she's having a whole relationship with this man. I'm going to tell you, the words are powerful on a woman when you can cultivate or conquer a woman's mind, right? And let me tell you something. She ain't got to be simple. If a man, look, even Eve was conquered by words. And I know you don't ascribe to the word, but we do. Now, right. I'm telling you as a woman that even the baddest man and the baddest woman, he could be high up, but there could be a strange woman that can come around. That woman got a bad body. That one, hold on, Showtime. She can have a bad body. She can look great, beautiful. Oh my God, drop dead gorgeous. And he may not be no simple man, but simple enough because he's undisciplined. See, a woman like that can get an undisciplined man. That's why King Lemuel, he said, son, don't give your strength to no woman. Because when you do that, you gone. You broken. Now, for a woman, that's why the Most High say, you got to love this woman this kind of a way. You got to make sure you protect her, be her covering, make sure you protect her. So when men come into a woman's life and you can keep a woman with you for 9 years and never touch her, oh my God, I could not believe this story, Rick. I literally said, what is he doing? We thinking the man is G-A-Y and all of that. She says no. And I'm like, okay, he did a real psychological work on your mind. When the man can get the mind of a woman, he can get everything else without even touching her. Without even touching.
You're talking about
you don't necessarily have to touch a person and enter them for a soul tie. It's emotional.
Are human, right? Are human.
Yeah, hey, hold on really quick. Tanae has something that she wants to touch on. Go ahead.
I just wanted to make a quick comment in support of what Sister Kanai said, because that's why pimping is so profitable. That's why there's pimps, because they're able to get into the mind of these women. Pimping is a very profitable business for those men that's out there because of words. And that's also, again, like she said, I know you don't ascribe to the word, but that's why the word warns us against flattery. That's what I try to tell my sisters all the time. Beware of flattery. Make sure those actions line up with this man's words, because that's how they get you. It's through the words. So I just wanted to piggyback as a woman, what she's saying is, yeah, definitely.
I'm glad you said that, because when I was explaining,
so you're talking about pimping, right? Hold on, Shanae, let me say something.
Yeah, now saying, go ahead, Showtime.
What you're saying, and I was just going to respond to it real fast, right? So you keep saying women. Baby, you got to understand psychology. If you're taking psychology, you know that men and women, traumatic experiences put them in the same type of situation. A man whose mind is gone is going to be just as accessible to whatever the words are of the person that you let in. So it's, you know how many gangsters, men who follow other men, killing for this man, stealing for this man, It's the same idea. You know how many men who have failed for women? So it's all words that creates worlds. It's not a man's word. It's words themselves because they are vehicles that carry energy. And that energy has a lot to do with the way people project themselves. So when you have a person that is good with words, it doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman. Once the mind has been conditioned to follow the words, it doesn't matter if it's a woman. So that's why I want you to see that there are men that are sold out for the military right now, sold out. You know what I mean? So you can't say, oh, a woman when a woman works. And let me tell you about pimping, right? Men can do what Rick said as dominate, force, force. You see what I mean? So that's what masculinity can also do. It can force a woman down because she is not physically strong to push the man off. You see what I mean? So a lot of that has to be has to come into play. So, but even what Rick said, right? The man that won 100 games, right? It's two guys. One, they both playing 100 game season. One man win 100 games. One team or one man loses 100 games. They equal, Rick. They're no different. The only thing is one is on one end of the pendulum and the other one is on the other end of the pendulum. The one that just imagine me and you playing a game, I hit a buzzer beater on you. It's a close game. We both got our energy into it. I hit a buzzer beater on you and I win. My joy is going to be matched with your pain. You're going to hurt just as much as I experience joy. So we can't lose the other side just because we like, you know what I mean? So we got to be able to understand like it goes both ways and there's no one-sided thing. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, you want to take it? I was going to say something too.
I just want to respond. Can I respond to that? I want to say something real quick. When you said today, what you was talking about the PIMP thing, you're right about that because I did bring that up because the PIMP, a lot of them don't even sleep with the girl anyway, right? But they got the mind. Now what you was talking about, Showtime, I hear exactly what you're saying. Flattery can go both ways, man or woman. I do definitely agree with that. But let me just give you this. When a woman does not make it with a man and it falls through, the first thing that woman say to try to figure out what happened is this. Well, he told me. He said, he promised me. He gave me his word. That's what a woman say. What a man say, this is what a man say when he get his thing. Yes, she could have used some flattery a little bit. She also used her body that he was attracted to. But this is what a man say when he lose a woman. Man, she was fine, man. She was so fine. The first thing that they say, my wife was beautiful too. All on TikTok. I divorced my wife, but she's a beautiful woman. She's a beautiful woman. That's what they say. So I understand what you're saying, but I'm letting you know that it's not just words. Hold on. It's not just words with men. It is the way that woman looked. Every time I talk to a man and he lost his wife, they immediately go to what she looked like. Visual and auditory that somebody just put in the comments, and that is true. I don't care what you say. Now, you want to fight? No, I'm just playing.
Okay. No, but no.
I'm just playing sometimes.
Hey, hold on real quick. Hold on.
You deep, though.
Hold on. Go ahead. Tanae has something. Go ahead, Tanae. What you have?
Because I just wanted to piggyback off of the fact that he brought up the pimp thing. I worked in human trafficking. I worked with the girls. And that goes back to my premise about how, women follow men. Like, I get that there are some female PIMPs out there, but a lot of times it's because women are inclined to follow a man. You don't even have to use force. A lot of those women are not enticed by force when it comes to a pimp. It comes to by his word, his language, him able to offer her security. That's why a lot of these women go into that field because they're looking for security. They're looking for somebody to take care of them, somebody to guide them. And that person happens to have the word and the word language to be able to maneuver these women and offer them security. So that also ties into what I said earlier about the fact that it starts with the men because they are capable of leading women, whether it's leading them down the correct path or the wrong path, but they're built to lead and women are going to follow. So that's why I made the reference to pimping as what Miss Sister Kanai was saying about flatter.
Let me ask you,
About the
let me ask you a
word.
question then. Do you think that what would stop women from being pimped or getting caught up in that life would be a man or a woman's words? A man's words or a woman's words that would stop the idea from going into their head that gets them into that life? What
You
do
want
you
to know what I
who?
think?
Yes, that's what I'm asking.
I think it starts with the father role. Whether if the father's not in the girl's life, then she needs a father figure. And we tend to look at the men as the men that's always leaving, but sometimes we do have to look at the women that are driving these men away. The first love that a girl experiences is from her father. A lot of people talk about, women that have these father issues. If they have that secure father role model in their life that's looking out for them without nothing in return. A lot of women have grown up because they don't have these father figures dealing with men that want something in return. They need these father figures in their life. That's why we talk so much about women having a hedge, somebody that's going to protect them, somebody that's going to provide for them. Because that's all women are looking for, is somebody to offer them security. And I'm sorry, I love my sisters, but they can't give that to me.
Right, but that's the same thing that a brother gets in the gang is wanting. Security, love. Have you ever met a gang member?
But I'm not a man. I'm talking about just from a woman's perspective.
Right.
You know what I'm
But I
saying?
just want you to, I'm just trying to show you that I keep making the statement that everything that you're saying for a woman accounts for a man, but you're only looking at it from one side. The educated beings can see both sides of the sphere. You don't look at the top of the water and be like, there's nothing underneath. And the animals underneath is like, oh, there's nothing. You know that there's two sides. So everything that I've heard from y'all say about a woman, it goes for a man. But what I think is y'all don't have faith in women. It sounds like y'all don't have faith in women. Y'all don't believe in what the woman can do. And it's like when we talk about the woman, like your mind operates as a woman. I think you're going to connect. There's a correction what you're saying. Your first love is not your father. Your first love is not your father. Your first love, the person that loves you first, is your mother because she can take your life within her stomach. She can just eat some bullshit all day, give you all kind of problems when you come here. So the first person that loves you has to first love themselves. That's why I think that everybody has a misconstrued idea of like the woman and her role. Like she is the thing that a man, we're just watching. How is it our role is so
I'm not
important?
I didn't mean to cut
No,
you
I'm not. I'm right. I'm not
I'm
saying
not
you
I,
don't.
taking the role
I
of a
don't want us to
woman.
veer too far.
For different things. A woman.
I don't want us to veer too far off. I
Yeah.
definitely want us to veer too. We're gonna make
Focus
sure
on
we
the
stay on
soul
the
tie. Yeah, we're
soulmate
back.
soul ties
Okay.
because we can look. These are future topics. Y'all going in a lot of my
My
future
bad.
topics. No, you good. So the man and woman's role and man, I can't wait. So hey, I definitely won't. Yeah, Showtime. You know you got to be here for that one. So yeah, but yeah, man and woman's role, beautiful, but when it comes just to soulmate, if the conversation is if the how a woman is, a man is, if it ties into being a soulmate or how the soul tie affects, then yeah, cool. But I don't want us to get veer into another
And that's what I
direction.
mean
I want
about
to stay in.
soul tie, because people talk about soul ties, and that's what I was going with that. It's more of attachment. I don't think it's so much of the soul. It's more of an attachment. The women, and I agree with what Sister Kanai said about men don't deal with that as much as women do when it comes to sex and things because a lot of people associate soul ties with sex, of course, because I do believe it's more than just a physical act. I do believe it's a spiritual act as well, and that's why we're cautioned not to use sex irresponsibly.
Right.
Should be within two people that are to be married. That's my personal belief, because there's all kind of things that comes with sex when you don't do it the correct way. I mean, we have sexually transmitted diseases, unprofitable, babies, and I understand that people might not like how I said that, but I mean that there's a lot of people that are having children and can't take care of them because they have not established the foundation of a marriage. There's all kind of things that come from having, but in soul ties, I don't necessarily believe in a soul tie, but I do believe in attachments. Women are invested, or emotionally, once they lay down with a man. And like she said, when you lay down with multiple men, like to me, that tends to drive women crazy. And I hate to use the word crazy, but for lack of better words,
Nope. Nah. Fuck
yeah,
that.
it
Yeah,
does.
right.
It tends to,
Women that got smashed by the city are crazy as hell. That's just a fact.
I'm trying to be politically correct on here, but you know how I am.
No, that's good. All praises. Be politically correct. I don't give a damn about that. I'm calm.
But
Yeah, I
that's
don't give
not
a fuck.
always true.
Rick, do you
Women
mean
that they not that's not always true. It could
Okay,
be a
hold on.
woman
I
that
want to take a question real fast. Hold on, and then then please make it. I want to hear that statement. Go ahead, Kana.
there was a question that someone had in the comments, and she asked, how do you get rid of, or how do you, disconnect from Bobby, Ronnie, Ricky, and Mike? I don't know if she's still here, but if you can, you allow me to answer that for her,
Oh,
since she just
I not posted the question up. I'm already on top of it. Go ahead.
so the way you do that, the way you see, the way you can flush out or purge that from your soul and your spirit, you have to go into the spiritual work. You have to do spiritual work. First thing you need to do is meditate and pray. You need to do meditation, and you need to do prayer, and you need to make sure you fast. Fasting is key. Fasting is key because fasting breaks down some of the things that we hold and that we keep ourselves attached to, that we think we can't let go. The power in fasting is not just for losing weight. It's not just for eating better, right? Or giving your body a rest. The fasting is so powerful that it can break those ties that you have with other people, and that memory, you will have the mental memory, you will have the memory of it, but the memory won't be connected to you, or tied to you, to where you thinking about that person. You know what I mean? You could walk by that person can call you on your phone, and you be like, I don't talk to him, I'm done. When you can do that, that's when you know it's broken. That's when you know it's broken. It's over. It's no more there. So the thing that I recommend is a strong, close relationship with the Most High. If you believe in the Most High, understand that the Most High is the key. Your relationship is the key with the Most High to process and purge these spirits and these things out of your mind, spirit, and your soul. If you have dreams, and if you have things that you see when you're fasting, that you will see yourself overcoming these things in the very dreams that you have. Your dreams will tell you your progress. Like, say for instance, if you have a dream and somebody is trying to attack you in the dream in a sexual manner, right? If you refuse, and push that person off, you are building yourself up. That's your sign right there. If you fighting that person off and you saying no, you know that fasting and that praying is working for you. But if you do not or cannot resist in the spirit, because when you sleep, your spirit is still going. But if you cannot resist that thing in that world, that means that you still kind of, it ain't broke yet. Just keep going. You're going to have a lot of things that you're going to see in that world when you sleep, but just keep on fasting until you be able to overcome, and your dreams will show you that. And I know that because I went through it. And if you are, I'm assuming I'm talking to Israel, but if you are not reading the word during that process, you're doing yourself a disservice. You must read the word along with that whole process.
Hey,
Meditate on
I'll
the
venture to
word.
say this. Just I'll not to cut you off. I'll venture to say this. Hey, everybody really needs to hear, because at the end of the day, whatever is the greatest wisdom that we can find. Because Showtime touched on what's more important than anything: wisdom. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom. And of course, with all I get understanding. So yeah, we gotta have that wisdom. It's very important to have wisdom.
And I
And
say, and I'm
and of
say
course,
one
be
more
masculine.
thing.
But go ahead, Kana. Go ahead, finish.
I want to say one more thing I forgot to say. The first thing is you got to make up in your mind to do it. You got to make a decision. The decision is another powerful thing you can make. You could do to change your mind about this situation. If you don't make a decision, because remember, an unstable minded man a one that is doubtful, you can't receive nothing. Nothing happens when you're confused and when you're swaying from left to right and you're vacillating all over the place. Nothing can happen for you. But when you make a decision and when you stand on it and do it, oh, that's the most powerful thing you could do. Everything gonna line up, and that thing is gonna be broken. But you have to stick with the process of what I said: meditation, fasting, prayer, stand in the word, and definitely worship. If you don't worship, if you don't in your prayer time, if you don't worship and meditate too, then I don't know. All this stuff works together, and that's the spiritual work. That's the spiritual work. And it won't take you 10 years. It might take you just a year. But the reason why it takes some folks so long is because they miss these steps.
Which spiritual is mental, your mind, changing your mind, changing how you think, and actually putting forth action. Anybody, even if someone like is like, okay, I don't subscribe to the Bible. Okay, well, anybody that's ever played any sports, or it's even just learn the piano, learn to ride a bike. You got to change your mind. You got to get your mind used to the motions that you've never done. At first, it'll be uncomfortable, and then when you start doing them over and over again, then it's going to be like second nature. It's going to be like breathing. So everybody in here, I'm pretty sure, can ride a bike. When we first tried to learn how to ride a bike, we kept falling. We couldn't, we was scared. We was wobbling, all that good stuff. So a lot of us, if people that can't swim or people that can't swim, you had to learn the motions and how to correctly, maneuver through the water. It's all about, and which fasting goes into the discipline, all of those good things. So, we got to do it. Hey, and we getting close to closing out, but Showtime, make sure if you got another comment, go, because I do want to. I definitely want to touch on this question. I like the question. She said, what are the takeaways from this discussion? But we'll touch on that because Showtime, you did have a comment earlier, and I didn't want to lose what you had.
I was just going to say, can y'all hear me still? I was just going to say, to kind of add on with like getting rid of like people that you're trying to get rid of. Like, it's your thought patterns. It's your thought patterns. It's also your belief. If you believe that you can achieve, no matter what obstacle that you face, you will overcome that which is in your way. So if you constantly talking about this dude, damn, Tony did me wrong and he broke my heart, and you constantly replaying the thing that is causing you trauma. It's your mind that is constantly perpetuating a cycle that keeps you keeping the same thoughts. So really, you have to put it in your mind that shit, I'm done with it. It's like women that struggle with being with a man that they can't let go of because he's, that's my boyfriend and he beat me, but I'm ready to get rid of him, or whatever he does, right? It's only till you get tired, right? When you get tired, you sick and tired, that's when you make up your mind that this shit is over. And no matter how many times he calls or she calls, I'm not talking to him. So all of it is a mind state. If you keep talking to your friends and your friends constantly talking about these guys, you're going to still be there. You can't lose something and keep talking about it and think you're going to be able to say, I'm going to forget about that thing which I lost.
Oh yeah, hey, agreed.
I agree with that.
100% with that. Hey,
you should be agree with everything you should agree with everything I say.
Hey,
I said and you didn't.
What did you say that I didn't agree with?
Showtime, get on. You difficult.
No, I'm not. I'm just one that you have to validate statements. Yes, it's just
your mind is something else, but I respect it.
I appreciate that.
I respect it.
Hey, so let's go ahead and get the takeaways, because I do like I said, I did love the discussion, and I definitely, like I said, look forward to having everybody in, especially we, like I said, this was a very, very good discussion. It was good for people to kind of get through that. So what are the takeaways? And I'll let y'all respond, whoever wants to say in whatever order. Go ahead. What's the takeaways?
Tanea, you go.
I knew y'all were gonna do that to me. So takeaways, as far as the soulmate, I agree with the concepts per se. I do believe that there is somebody created. Like, for example, for me, I was created for a man somewhere. I might have missed out on him. I'm not sure. My goal is just to continue to walk my path. If I meet him, that's cool. If not, then my goal is to serve the Most High first. Soul ties, I think it's more of an attachment. I think it's a play on words. I think it's more so geared towards women. Um, I don't necessarily believe that. I mean, I do believe in souls, but I believe I believe it's more to it than that. I don't think it's as black and white as people make it. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Cool.
Okay,
I
okay.
I'm gonna take away from this is that um just understand that the soul tie or the soulmate thing, just get your mind out of there's only one person for me in the entire world, the entire universe. That's really all. We've been sold a lie. You know what I mean? I think Wayne Dyer, he broke it down best. And what he said is that anybody can be a soulmate. It could be a friend, it could be your own daughter or your own son, it could be a teacher. You know what I mean? It could be different types of people, and we did read this, the definition of that. That's what I would take. It's not this Walt Disney Cinderella finding the king, type of thing. We have a lot of programming that we allow Walt Disney and them to do on us. We allow these people to make these spells and these programming, programming us since we were kids. So I think we're doing a lot of unlearning, right? We're unlearning to learn again. You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with that. But, just get out of the idea that there's only one person on this planet that's good for you, because you may have been good with one person and you might be better with another person. But whatever you get, just do the best you can. Good, better, best. Never let it rest till your good is better and your better is best. That's all I got to say.
Hey, and before Showtime, I want you. Yeah, you go ahead and go next. I just want to say this too. Everybody that's on, don't forget to like, comment, share this video. Let's get this. Let's put this thing out here. Let's push this thing. And again, it's gonna be every. Like I said, get this done every Sunday. And of course, we're going to have the pre-recordings that are going to be done on other days. Sometimes maybe Sunday early, but going to be pre-recording, but we'll definitely do a live every Sunday. That's definitely the plan. So we want to do that. Dang, Showtime's screen's messing up. Hopefully, Showtime, let me know if you can hear me. And yeah. Hey, and I'm going to take this comment. Oh, dang it, he got cut off. Oh, wait, hold on. Here we go. He back on. All right, go ahead, Showtime. You said as far as thoughts on it.
I don't know if y'all can hear me. My phone's jacking up.
No, I hear
We
you.
can hear you. Mm-hmm.
Already. So I was going to say, even when they hold ties, and I I think that a soulmate is a person that is is whatever you want that to be. You know what I mean? Like what you just said, like my lady said that, a soulmate could be a child, or that's just a person that you connect with on a tremendous level. You know what I mean? Like somebody you can kick it with. You know what I mean? But I think that you have like the goats in all areas, right? You got a goat that's my homeboy, is the number one homeboy, and you got a girl that's like the number one home girl, or somebody that you like at work that you connect with. You see what I mean? You have connections in all journeys of your life. So I think that, when we're looking at these connections, we place titles on them to try to give them meaning and give them all type of things. But I think that really is just people that we connect with. We are energy. And every time you conversate with somebody, every time you talk to somebody, lay down with them, you are connecting your energy with theirs, just like plugging up your lamp to my socket. You know what I mean? Energy is flowing through. We are connected, however you want to look at it. But that connection is the thing that life is made from. Energy, you see what I mean? Like friendships, the invisible parts of life that matters are made in between, like, the experience between people. So I just think that, the most important thing, and the last thing I want to say to everybody though, like Rick said, like the video, man, share it, support support the channel. You know what I mean? Keep the conversations coming. But when you when you at the end of the day, your journey is going to be a result of your day-to-day walk, right? That's whether you're a Christian, Buddhist, or whatever you are. Your day-to-day walk will prove that which you believe or don't believe, but it's going to be a result of what you did yesterday. And as human beings, what we should do is just look at our yesterdays. Take today and make the best tomorrow based on what you have already been through, not what somebody else has said. Yes, learn from other people's experiences. But if your best friend found the man at 25, that doesn't mean that you're going to find a man at 25. You know what I mean? Or get married at 25. You may not even be the one that gets married. You may have a relationship with a man that is better than any marriage, and y'all never put a ring on it. So I'm just saying it's all about the way you perceive life, and there's no one way to be happy because your happiness will change based on your situations. So, it's we altering. Our DNA is constantly changing. You are what you eat. So if you eat something, continuously eat something different, you'll be a different person within a year. Your genes change based on what you eat. So, we are multifaceted and we are very, very powerful beings. And it takes a lot to tame the mind and understand the electromagnetic energy that we are. So I just think it takes a lifetime to gain consciousness of all that you are. And once you do that, we are going to realize that we are the gods that we were worshiping or serving or trying to find. We are already it, and all we have to do is be it.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Hey, that's what's up. Um, and as far as what I will say takeaways, I definitely did. I did come in straight up like, like soulmates, not at all, not thinking about it. But I will say after even Kana's initial statement and Tanea came in as well. I do agree, like you said, there are spirits that are created to be linked to certain ones. It just doesn't have to be that one person. So that perspective, I will say, I took away thinking like, okay, you know what? Yes, I gotta alter my thought process on that part. But yes, so there are spirits that can be, meant to link with the ones, and it doesn't have to be that one person. But again, I know at the end of the day, especially I would say me, I know that there's not this. Oh, there's just one special only girl that's just meant just for me. Nah, that's just not. That's crazy to even think like that. We got to understand that. Of course, obviously, if you're the right type of man, then the women that are willing to follow, you can plug them in and they're gonna work with you. They're gonna cooperate, and that's all it is to it. You know what I'm saying? And if you're that right type of woman, your path will eventually be led to that right type of man that you will be able to again fit with his program. So absolutely believe that. And even something I did think about. Yeah, overall though, like I said, it was a great discussion. I did, like I said, it was great to be able to come on. I appreciate y'all coming on again. I know we had some technical difficulties with a few of the ones that come on, but yeah, this was a great discussion. I look forward to other ones in the future. And like I said, everybody that came on, everybody that came in the chat, hey, y'all was, like I said, y'all kept it going. By the way, hey, my bro, I just see you came in. Hey, what's going on? Good evening to you. So, hey, the engagement was great, all of that stuff, and yeah, we did well. And again, remember, we'll be back on later. We'll continue to do this, and I'll keep everybody updated. Hey, other than that, y'all have a good night. Like I said, it was a great show. Peace be with y'all, Sisters Nay. Hey, glad to see you here.
Wow.
Kana, Showtime. Hey, man, y'all have a good night.
Take
You
care.
guys, good night. Nice to meet you guys. If you guys
Thank
are
you
on
for
the
having me.
if you guys
Oh, yeah, my
evening.
bad. Hey, by the way, I forgot. Hey, check up Kana Speaks the Real, or is it Kana Speaks the Real on TikTok? Yep, check
Okay,
that out
yeah,
on
I'll
TikTok.
subscribe. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, definitely
Yeah.
check that out.
would like to
And of
keep
course,
up.
Showtime. We have quite a few discussions on our Facebook page. So yeah. Anybody
Facts.
yeah. So
Okay.
All right,
yes.
Marlon wins.
Marlon, what?
All right,
Oh
y'all,
man,
man.
that's so. Hey, but it's a pleasure meeting both of you queens.
Thank
All
All
right,
you.
for
right.
sure.
It's
All
always
right.
a
Y'all have
pleasure.
a good one.
Time. Take care.
Bye.
All right, definitely.